All right, I think I'm here. Welcome, Merry Christmas, everyone. Sorry for the slight lateness. It won't let me do slightly after 10, so to avoid people waiting, I just scheduled it for 10:15. Today we're going to be doing my 2006 trip to San Francisco. This is part of a business conference, my first time out to the West Coast. And I got to I came into San Francisco into SFO, and I had a friend who lived down in San Jose, and I figured I'd ride down Caltrain to see him, and then ride Caltrain back up to San Francisco for my event, where I did, of course, cable car and Muni and other things. In fact, I've been getting out to the Bay Area on a pretty regular basis ever since then. But that's the premise. And we're going to sort of just begin. It's going to be mostly Caltrain. This is going to be part 1 of 3. And that's pretty much it. So I do have this one BART photo taken at the SFO stop. I forget what kind of service pattern they're running. When I got this is my first time on BART. It's sort of like if BART and DC Metro were commuter rail and transit hybrids, BART would definitely be more on the Long Island. It was sort of like more of a Long Island Railroad, whereas DC Metro is definitely turning into more of a subway system, especially in the years since. Did not enjoy it. Almost everything off peak was running C cars. Very few A cars being used, and C cars have no view ahead. It was complete waste of time. The only interesting things I learned is that the older BART cars use a Wabco N3 type coupler with a 4x6 gathering range. Unfortunately, the new D cars, which I have yet to ride, which I think have a better railfan window, but unfortunately they use those German-style couplers that I hate. So anyway, we can begin. I'm just going to keep the same one here, because again, BART is one of those things you cannot read the number from the front. Later I would learn how to if I took a picture, I'd take a picture of the number, but I did not know that back in 2006. All right. And here we are right at Millbrae. Nothing to do on the BART cars, so there you go. This, beyond a few things, Caltrain is where I really started learning how to do my surveys, because I had all these photos from the front and back railfan window. When I would do it again the next year, and I would do it again the next year, I definitely had to. This is where I started to learn how to pin down the way I labeled train photos. It's not perfect yet, but it helps. So this is just the where your BART and Caltrain connect. I'm sure someone in the peanut gallery will tell me what the current service pattern is. I think that yellow goes to SFO and red goes to here. That's what it was last time I checked, but I could be wrong. I think at this point they were actually doing the pull-in, pull-out thing, where a train would go to SFO, then they'd change ends, and they go to Millbrae, and only in the peak time would you have direct Millbrae service. This is one of my first photos. This is like again, well, you're seeing it live. I actually got this in railpictures.net. It's a fantastic photo of the lead F40PH unit. I actually did pull up the things. This is number 900, so it's an F40PH2-cat. I'm assuming rebuilt at some point. Most all of them are F40 are 2 cats. So apparently they still have some unrebuilt ones. Not sure why, but they do. But this would have been the class leader at Caltrain. 1985. And look, instead of I'm already at the thing where I'm putting a location after the thing there. I barely need to do anything with this. Maybe a little bit. Hold on. There's this weird line there. There we go. Let's see what I can do with this. Just a quick, a super minor crop. Okay, right there. And this time I think I was able to make a good connection. Usually at Millbrae, you can. I don't know. Remember, these trains run hourly, weekends and weekday mornings. I mean, weekday days. So if you don't make this, you're screwed. I have had things where just with how your plane gets in, that I've just been, stuck there. Of course, by their infinite wisdom, they made the railfan car also the bike car. This gets sort of odd. I mean, it's nice that you don't have regular passengers sitting here, but the fewer seats means that a lot of people. I mean, I'm standing at the window, but you get a lot of the cyclists coming in and wondering what you're doing. Don't know which car this is. Oh, you know what I can do? I can get a Nippon Gary cab bike. It's going to be a 4000 series car. They have 26. That's 26. They have a luggage car? What? 25. Wow. So yeah, it's a 4000 series. 40XX. And off we go. Unlike a lot of the East Coast trains, Caltrain tended to not have really didn't have scratched up windows. Although I have been on it where I've gotten a lot of bug splat. Or at least stuff that resembles that. Now, I have to be very, very careful of how I need to definitely use as many original names as I can, because with 7 sets of Caltrain photos, this is like a huge risk of duplication. Almost any name that I can think to use by my own I've likely already used. So I'm just going to try to keep it to this. See, this isn't CP Trousdale. This is like CP Bart. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Yeah. It's crazy how few freights run on that. I guess it's just interesting as these cities, they sort of get to this point where they don't need freight anymore. I'm going to have to go to the... I hate having to go to the thing. But good news is I have a whole doohickey of stuff. So let me just... I'm already at a corner case. Oh, it's a 5E. Give me a second. There it is. Wait, no, this... You can tell how many times I've passed this because it's like the exact same photo. Yeah, it's not the same, but... Alright, I don't think I have to put that Sunny in there because I never labeled this properly the first time. There we go. CP Bart, northbound gantry, plus the 137 auto. Probably should be auto 137. Or northbound gantry. All right, there we go. That solves that problem. Off we go. Now this is CP Trousdale. Sure. I might have to check because they're still not 100% right. Ugh. Alright. Let's see what I can do with this one. Just when I thought I could use all the existing names, I realized that I still didn't quite get it right. This would be the trailing crossover. Like how when Caltrain was rebuilt, it went with all limited, what they define as limited speed, which I think is 50 miles an hour with spring frogs. It was a very impressive rebuild. I actually talked with the guy who was in charge of he was part of the consulting firm that redid the signaling system that came up with all the new signal indications, the speed signaling, all of it, and they just did a fantastic job. You don't usually see this level of quality with with today's highly consulted on transit projects. So this is going to be signal 159. Some of these have been changed in the intervening years. Yeah, so the problem is, like, again, when I did this, I've pretty much paved over every other. Okay, I know what I can do with this. I mean, I'm doing this for a reason. If it wasn't going to be hard, I wouldn't do it. So this is signal 169. So they're about 1 mile. They're on a 1 mile spacing. Beautiful weather. Huh. I can't even find this one. Well, that's weird. Sorry. Caltrain has an interesting thing. Oh, I call it 1169. It's been mislabeled to begin with. So there you go. Caltrain has an interesting thing where all of their interlocking signals have 3 heads, all their distance have 2 heads, and all of their plain Jane autos have 1 head. Just very, very, very. You got the full points on salience there. I'm very, very surprised. I'm actually surprised they did not go with cab signaling. That was their original intent. But their bespoke PTC provider screwed the pooch. And they had to go with the ETMS, and they did keep the transponders, but they are not doing anything. I don't know if these P lights are still there. The P lights are not for permissive. It has to do with a bridge strike sensor. It's in the timetable that I do have available. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. For collision detections at Poplar, Santa Ynez, Mount Diablo, and Tilton Ave underpasses. Of singles 175, 170 display stop and proceed, and the letter P is not illuminated. Inspect the bridges. So it's sort of I guess it's an everything's all right alarm. Get rid of some of this blue if I can, but okay, here we go. And this is 1175. Oh, and they've see why is this? Why do I have this label as 172 when it's 11? Oh, it's yeah, man. That's just weird. I'm gonna fix this on my own. Oh, it doesn't even matter, but I'm gonna fix it here anyway. There we go. I think I can remove this backlight one and just call it track 1 approach. This is going to be our spring frog at some place. Just a good example of the Caltrain spring frogs. This is going to be, CP Palm. Must have this thing out of order. I'm not going to bother I'll keep this a name. I don't care if I identify it as which one. Yep, we're good. Next. Here we have San Mateo. This is where my cousin used to live. They are currently in San Carlos. All very close to each other. A little less blue, a little more, whatever. That looks good enough. Wow, that's a bad crop job I did on that. Not sure why. Really needs some more saturation. San Mateo Station plus track 2 platform northbound. Looks good. And this is CP Palm. Is this Palm? Yeah, that's his Palm. They're nice because they have little signs that tell you which interlocking they are if you look closely enough. Stockton, come on, Shark, come on, Ralston, Palm, northbound masts. No, I'm going to step over. I've got a collision. Yeah, that'll hopefully solve that problem. And that's the first 12. This is going to be a somewhat short set tonight. So I really love Caltrain. I'm sort of up, like, it's great that it's getting electrified. I can't stand those MUs they're using. I guess, it's when when the feds are paying or property tax measure M, who cares? But if I were them, I would have done a mix of MUs and push pull. I would have had like an MU train running one or two, like I would have had like an all stops MU running hourly or 2 trains an hour, and then maybe you would have one express train an hour. So you'd have your like three TPH, and that express would pass the MU. It would leave at a time where it could pass the MUs and go San Jose Express, but that would be a locomotive halt, and they could run that all day. All they would have to do is buy, if they wanted to buy the ASC 64s. Or I would have been great if they could use the ALP 44s or AEM 7s like they're kind of using. The AEM 7s are a bit life expired, but I think a few of them have about a decade left on them. The ones that were built in the late 90s. The late 80s. But it's the worst shame is just those. Which one is this? This is 197. Those 87 or 97. 95. Oh, here we go. 197. These might not be around anymore. Some of them did get removed when they retimed some of the signals in this area. Yep, I don't need that resize in there. This station is Hillsdale. Is this Hillsdale? Seems different than when I was there to catch a train. Hillsdale has good express service. I just don't know why I got in such bad habits early on. Probably just because I never thought I'd ever visit the same place twice. It's easy to make that assumption. This is signal 203. If I cared 1 second, let me just make sure that I can get zoomed in on all this, just in case. Where's the ba? There's the ba. Millbrae, San Mateo, Hayward, Hillsdale. That has been elevated, at least since I was there. Yeah, a lot of these aren't going to be around anymore. Yeah, see, there's 197. That was removed and replaced by 199. Yeah, and 197 was removed. So these are the 203s. I'm just going to coming up another interlocking. You see those double heads. Although no, it's not every distant. I think that there are some places where you do see some for speed control for like block separation purposes. So this is going to be Ralston. And you can see the back drive on the switch because, again, these are good for 50 miles an hour as opposed to the 45 seen most other places. Shoot. There it goes. Right there. Maybe just a little tweak of a straightening on that up. And there it goes. Perfect. Hopefully I won't have too many collisions with this. They're all over the place, but... or the potential is all over the place. Here we have Ralston's Spring Frog. I'm not gonna... This is clearly a... whatever, hold on. There we go. Track 2 Spring Frog. Always want to be... Alright, I'm going to do the same thing for CP Palm. This is going to be the Track 2 Trailing Spring Frog. I'm assuming this is also going to be CP Ralston. Clear track 1. Bet the dispatchers just seem to fleet and greet. There we go. Very closely spaced crossovers, way less than a typical 10 mile per crossover standard. Ooh. This is one of their first elevated stations. I used to know that at Belmont. And there's 2 of them on this elevation project. So this is where, I mean, they're going to be pretty much elevating the whole goddamn thing. Ralston's going to be in there. And there's Ralston, Belmont's elevated, and San Carlos. Those are the first 2 that are elevated. And then a whole bunch more have been elevated. I guess it's going to be ready to be used with the high-speed rail. I'm not sure what this is going to be good for. Probably something in the 110, 125 range. Not sure how much how well they'll be able to interleave locals and HSR. I mean, the HSR is never going to happen. We all know that. What I want to do is I want to look at Belmont Station. Do I even have it? There it is. Nope, we're good. I don't know if these are still there. The round signals at milepost 229. These seem to be left over. These are Southern Pacific style safe train targets. That means they have the safe train scallop shell modules, but they're arranged in a target. Southern Pacific was a proponent of this. Today, they are used by a number of railroads, but mainly because they're trying to save money over Union Switch and Signal. People who don't want to buy the NRs. At least I think it's NR. 229. 211, 223. Oh, that's interesting. Here they are. 229. They seem to still be there. Next. Yeah. The reason I'm not quite so enamored of the people who live in the bay, who move to the bay and complain about the housing crisis. Let's see, one second. It's 3860. Because they're all moving there for the stupid weather. I mean, it's like there's nothing special about this place. You just don't like snow, and then you feel entitled to be able to buy affordable housing because you don't want to drive in snow. Like giant middle finger to that. And not, I have so little sympathy for that. 3860. It's like half the people went there to avoid the weather, and the other half the people went there to chase the successful people, the people that went there and got success and became successful. It's like, oh, if I can go be near the successful people, that's how you make money. It's like, maybe, but you could also just do your own thing. I mean, yeah, for Silicon Valley, there's a degree of agglomeration, but it's a shame it shouldn't have to work that way. I got that number wrong. There we go. I can use the same number for that guy. That works. Oh, our famous Redwood City, best climate in the U.S. sign. Dumbasses. I mean, it is nice there, but honestly, San Diego's better. It gets February in the Bay Area is kind of, I mean, whatever. It's better than February where I am, but it's still kind of blah. But San Diego's always nice. So, but I don't know why this would rate better than San Diego. This is going to be CP Dumbarton. Don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I always hate when I'm slow on the trigger, so I get a whole bunch of the switch in it. Then do I label this as a signal photo? Is this a switch photo? Yeah. Okay, that works. Next, oh, okay, we're done with that bit. 1 second, I'll be in to check on questions and stuff in just a second. Going to be doing at least one more set, maybe a couple additional. We'll see where we end off. Wait, what? Oh, the weather. Oh yeah, I saw these. I did an article on that. I think it's going to get preserved. I am pretty sure it's going to get sent to a museum, though. I mean, yeah. There's listen. You see the pattern again and again. It's almost like the parable of the neighborhood, where all across the country decades ago, artists and folks would move into the distressed areas after being rejected from the mainstream wealthy areas of the time, and suddenly 30 years later they're desirable because the people there did their thing, and they built something. And the funny part is that the people that moved in and bought their houses can cash in, and the ones who are there and be like, who would play the old game of like get cheap rent and not want to take responsibility for fixing anything. Well, guess what? You don't get to reap any rewards on that. I'm not trying to be like super like Cato Heritage Foundation here, but it's just funny to see all these every time someone is complaining in New York City. There's like, oh, long time really popular storefront of some kind having to move because rent raising. And yeah, okay, they got some sort of, they got a 30-year commercial lease, and then it expired, and then suddenly the rents are going to like quintuple. But if you go back, it's like in 30 years ago or 40 years ago, they were giving buildings away in New York City. And it's sort of like it's just a risk premium. It's not. I'm not trying to be. Hindsight's not 2020. It's the whole point of that's how the game is played. We shouldn't be. It's like Captain Hindsight. No, it's not sure if that's the good example here. But I'll keep talking. They got their deal. The people who rented, they took the risk, and it was so they didn't take any risk, and they benefited. But suddenly today they're getting kicked out, and that's how the game works. It's not bad, it's not good, it's not. I'm not saying that they could have bought back in the day, but at the same point, wow, I can get this on 100% every time. Every time you see the hold on, what am I putting here? Dunbar. Oh Jesus. Northbound. I gotta see what I have into the Dumbarton area. Like you don't want to set up a situation where it's heads I win, tails you lose. It's people think if they want to rent because they feel that the city's they don't want to take on the risk of owning, that's fine, but they don't get a bailout when that turns it when 30 years later the property's worth a ton of money. Because if it lost money and they rented, they're not going to go and be like, they don't have any of the risk. They can walk away. Trying to figure out what I should do with this. I can keep the name, actually. You can't even see that it's clear. I know it's not northbound, but there's only one of them. and it's still unambiguous. Now, California does have a whole lot of problems. The whole Prop 13 property tax thing is ridiculous. Hey, I'm all for capping property tax rates, but you shouldn't cap your actual property taxes. If the value goes up, guess what? The value, it's like, yeah, the value's going up. If everybody pays their fair share, like, they won't have to have massive rate increases. Oop, gotta sharpen that. There we goes. Yep, so Dumbarton only. CP Dumbarton has a set of masts, a cantilever, and a gantry. So technically I do not actually need to differentiate these. And you can barely see what the other stuff was either. So I'm just going to leave those names the same. Nothing tends... Dumbarton is this little thing where in theory they could build... there's a bridge that goes over the bay there, and they could put some additional like light rail or something here. I don't even know if anything uses it as a passing point. It's clearly set up to be a passing point, but I don't think anything actually passes here. But you can't say never. I don't work there enough. By the way, I want to point out all these signals have 3 heads, even though this is a diverging move, and this could probably have 2 in a marker. It still has 3 full heads. I don't know what's up with this full-headedness, but there you go. CP Junction. Definitely going to have to do something with this. That's, God, that photo was terrible. Oops. CP Franklin, Geneva Julian Junction. South, come on, northbound. Nope. Do I have a freebie on this one? Huh. I think I have a freebie on this one. Yeah, okay, great. I don't actually need to qualify that. There we go. Nice. Next. Which station is this? Atherton. I forget, one of these, like, doesn't see a lot of service. I think it's Broadway or something. San Carlos. So there's Dumbarton, I think. Yeah. And you can see that the bridge, it's one of those things where the bridge caught fire. It'd be nice if they could put that back in service, though. I don't know how far the tracks actually go. There they are. They're still going. Yeah. When did that burn? Yeah, it'll be interesting if they can ever get that going. Probably need to totally rebuild the bridge. Dumbarton, Atherton. There's all these interesting rules on Caltrain involving the holdout stations. A holdout station is where you have people crossing, where you have people crossing a track. You know, where you'll have a train platforming across another track. There's a whole set of rules for that, for the holdout stations. Let's see if I can find the holdout. Holdout stations. When passenger train is receiving or discharging traffic, a train engine or piece of equipment must not enter the station. 2 passenger trains approach the station at the same time. Train is yielded, blah, blah, blah. Headlight to yield. Not sure what they. Just seems to be an informal process. All right, what do I have going on here? It just says Atherton. I think I actually like. Whoops. I guess I'll sharpen it twice. Atherton. $285. Man, I haven't had an automatic signal in ages. Oh yeah, you're right. I was working with severely limited card space. It's a really nice picture. I can make that a little sharper. Menlo Park. Don't know why they're stealing New Jersey's mojo there. Whoops, didn't put an underscore. Don't know why. Probably screwed that up initially. All right. I mean, ultimately, when places do or people find themselves priced out of a city, there are tons of cheap cities around. They can go and take all their cool arts and culture stuff and move to the cheap cities, and then in 10 or 20 years, those places will be having a housing crisis. And then at the end of the day, everything is made better. New York's good. Everything, you'll have more good cities. If people are willing to move to places, that's why. I said I didn't move to the absolute sticks, but I've been started being based near Philly, and I've been based near Baltimore for the last thing. That everybody throws shade on Philly and then throws a lot of shade on Baltimore. Have you been stabbed yet? No. Why you save some money? Don't live in freaking Nova. Where are we? So I mean, I've definitely practiced to a degree. Practiced what I've preached to a degree. I'm not moving to Detroit. What the hell? The photo just vanished. I think this is CP Alma. Come on. All the way up at the top. Come on. This is giving me a repetitive stress industry. Alma. Oh, they LED'd them. There you go. Alrighty. This is Palo Alto. Forget which one that is. If that's, I think that's Xerox. Nice Art Deco station. And 904 at Palo Alto. So I'm getting some of the stuff right. I bet if... Wait, what's going... It's like I missed like a whole bunch of the photos are just gone. Wow. Oh, there it is. Ah, they just got whacked out of order for some weird reason. All right, there we go. Man, I butchered that one. I don't know what I was thinking. Putting up some dirt there. I'll just keep this intact. Oops. And we are almost... I'm probably going to limit this to 3 sets today. So it's going to be... 2 of the parts are going to have... it works out for 36, 36, 48, which would be 48 on that Tuesday. I think that works good. Works well, I mean. But I might do a little extra tomorrow, 317. Go to New York tomorrow, but I'm going to be back well within enough time. $317. Here we go. Nice. That's the only one with an approach. And 2 left. This is CP, like Mayfield or something. Yes. There we go. Is that track 1 showing a clear? Yeah, it is. I don't like putting dashes. This is photo -1, -2, or ABCDs. I will do that on occasion. I just hate it. Sometimes I'll put a year on it. Yep. And last one for tonight. I'll do a quick look ahead of see what's next. The 359. So that's, again, for your milepost. This is 35 miles from San Francisco, King Street, San Francisco. 359. 347. There's 359. Track 1 clear. All right. And last pilot. Oh, that probably was it. Hold on. Let me just check those. I don't really feel like dealing with that VTA thing right now. I'll tell you the truth. Oh man, the old school signals at wherever that is, CP Franklin. That's out of the speed signaling zone, and they're just building the. They haven't even built the new diesel shops yet. Pretty crazy. All right, I'm gonna save the rest for tomorrow. Do I have any questions? Let's find out. What do they know? Yep. What? FB. Oh wait, what are they gonna? Facebook was supposed to pay for the. Yeah, that would have been nice. Come on, Facebook. But I guess they can just do a. Wait, what's up? Oh, I guess it doesn't go to King. It says it's still 4th and King Street Station. Wait, what's a waste of money? All right, I gotta get going here. I will see all you alls tomorrow. Thank you very much. We will probably have, and then remember I'll make sure I post that link in the chat for the Zoom meeting on Monday. If Brian has it, he can post it again. But I think everyone here has it. It'll be at 7:30 Eastern. It'll be talking about my midwinter trips. It'll be sort of like this, but without me editing things. You saw the photos I was going through. I just finished putting together the full set of photos. It's going to be a little over 200. I was going to do notes. I'm doing the notes tomorrow. All right, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock. Yeah, there's no reason for me to go any earlier. All right, have a nice day.